What is going on, everybody? We're here, we're live, and Jay managed to shovel a cracker into his mouth right as we were getting started. That's why he's taking a drink to wash it down. What's up, Jay?
That is correct. A nice cracker. I still have one more left.
Why are you eating crackers?
I was debating it. That's an excellent
why
question.
right now? Okay, I like crackers as much as the next guy too. Dip it in peanut butter, put some cheese on there, whatever you want to do with it. But why are you eating a plain ass cracker in the 30 seconds that we're counting down before we go live?
I was looking at like what I had left, and I was like, I was trying to finish my plate. I've got one more, but it'll sit there till the hour is done. I don't know. It's like there's food in front of me. I just have to eat it. Kind of one of those things.
Well, is that the way you were raised?
Pretty much.
There's starving people in Africa and in Haiti, Jay. You can't let your plate go unfinished.
Mostly if like when you're raised poor, it's like if you see food, you better eat it because you might not get any tomorrow. So I'll eat it now. That's gonna make my throat a little scratchy today because I was woofed down that cracker.
I debated stopping the intro like in there and just like while you were sitting there chewing on it. I debated it for a while, but I felt like you had it time to get your drink right as we were going live.
I did it.
So you
Nice
did it.
Drink of water.
You did it. Nice drink of water. I got my water too. So no crackers for me. I don't have any fucking crackers. I wish I did. But
Are you a Ritz man or are you just whatever's on sale?
Townhouse, dude.
Townhouse, yeah.
Townhouse over Ritz not to say I don't love a Ritz cracker. I'll take a Ritz cracker. But Townhouse, that's my go-to, man. I can eat just sleeve after sleeve of Townhouse crackers if you left them in front of me and I was hungry enough or drunk.
Butter crackers, yeah.
Yeah. Usually I dip them. I'll like dip them in the peanut butter jar, or get a couple, slices of cheese, whatever. Yeah, dude.
Not a Triscuit man, I assume. Or wheat thins. Yeah.
Wheat thins, I'll do wheat thins. Triscuit, I don't get that. It's like fucking I don't understand. I don't think Triscuits are very good. They're not pleasant to eat. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a Triscuit man. I like the before a football game, get a plate of crackers with the easy cheese. I'm good to go. I'm happy.
Is that like Cheese Whiz?
Yeah, like the cheese in a can.
Yeah,
Apparently no one in the rest of the world knows what that is except us Americans.
Yeah, I feel like that's a very American thing.
I mentioned it one time on a live stream and people from across the pond were like, what in the world is that? How do you get cheese out of a can? It's like, it's easy cheese. Cheese Whiz.
They put beans on toast and call it a delicacy over there. So don't trust fucking people from the UK when it comes to food. But I'm more of a just like give me some cheese, like some real cheese, cheddar, Swiss, pepper jack, Colby Jack, whatever it is. I like that on cracker.
I'm with you.
That's more.
I just won't eat it in your car because man, I will make a mess of a lifetime eating crackers. That is you don't even want to see what's around me right now. I've got a vacuum. Yeah, pretty bad.
Is Jay okay? Did Jay freeze for a second or did I freeze? I think Jay froze for a second. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Never stopped.
You see me?
Yeah. Might have been me. I don't know.
It might have been you. We'll have to ask the chat. We'll have to ask the chat if anybody froze. Nobody froze.
We both froze together, maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. Bruce, for $5 when Ryan was singing Ludacris last year, a few of those big ladies were ready to eat that cracker.
Are you going to have a repeat performance this coming Vegas trip?
I don't know if we're going to have a repeat performance of that. It depends. The moment just struck me at the right time, had to be in a karaoke bar. They had to randomly be playing that song. It wasn't even supposed to be a karaoke song. They were just playing it in between breaks. And I was like, I just felt so moved and passionate that I had to go. So
you just run up there and grab the mic, or was there just a mic just there for the taking.
I ran up there and grabbed the mic. So there was like an MC who was like doing the whole thing, and she had been like, she was just playing along. And I like kind of, you see at the beginning of the clip, I'm kind of like pointing at her, basically asking if it's okay if I hop up there and grab it. And so I did right in time for Ludacris's lines. It was good.
I saw the I think the person who posted the clip was like mid sentence, so I didn't get to see the before, but I got to see the after. You were definitely having some dark chocolate later that night if you wanted.
Well, if I wanted, not really. They weren't really my type. They weren't really my type, but they were digging it though. I think they were surprised that a fucking white dude in camo shorts hopped up there and was spitting. Yeah. But you know, Cole Hauser, Jay, cheese in a can is a white person thing. Hi, Ryan.
I respect it.
It is a white person thing.
I respect that.
We will be in Vegas. We announced yesterday that RSVP is live. It's over on Gary's Twitter. I don't know how many spots are available. I'm sure it's filling up quick, but we will be. Well, some of us will be in Vegas. April 17th is the day of that meetup. So April 17th is that day. Thursday, April 17th. I think some of us are going to be there through the weekend and stuff like that, hanging out. So should be fun.
You guys will probably do F&T that Friday in Vegas.
Yep. Yeah. Somewhere. AD the Demon Slayer for 5. What in the sand hill is up with your forehead today, Ryan? Maybe I need to adjust my vertical hold. Anyway, good morning, fellas. And I think it looks pretty normal. My hair is a little floppy over on this side today, but my forehead is just as big as it normally is. Thank you, AD, the Demon Slayer. Mighty Megatron. Jay, are those MP Star Screams back there?
I think there's one of those, yeah. But I have like the original G1s graded in there, some Star Screams. But I have like a whole, let's see. Let me go this way. You can see all the Transformers right there that are lined up. A lot of those are Starscream. Then there's like 3 Starscream right there. And then I have the Ghost of Starscream. Like, so there's a lot. Big Starscream fan over here.
Did Starscream die?
Yeah, he got killed. And he's the only Transformer to come back as a ghost and like take possession of other Transformers. And then randomly, like Unicron brings him back to life, and he just gets blasted into outer space, and like no one heard from him. So, yeah.
There you go. I'm not a Transformers guy. I really don't know anything about Transformers. I was never really into the cartoon or whatever when I was growing up. I had a couple Transformers toys that got bought for me. It's like, oh, these are cool, but I don't know.
Yeah, I freaking love G1. But Starscream is my favorite. So
I actually find that people that are a little bit older than me, like you and Jeremy, are way more into Transformers than I guess it was like by the time I came around.
Yeah, I mean that it was only 3 seasons of the cartoon, of the G1 cartoon. Then they had the horrible movie. The comic books weren't good, but they if you're into that kind of thing, the Skybound Transformer G.I. Joe comic book series is probably the best adaptation of Transformers I have ever read. It is fantastic, and I can't wait for the next issue. It has been spectacular run. So a spectacular run for Transformers. So
someone says, Ryan, will you sign my Kanye shirt? I will sign almost anything that gets put in front of me, but if it's the one that he's currently selling, probably won't. You know, probably not. But if it's just a Kanye shirt, I got no problem.
Yeah,
he's got a new design up there.
Yeah, I saw that. So
the chat for 2. FYI, Billy lost $1,000 bill. If found, contact Jay.
Yeah, in my live stream earlier, I do a live stream from 8 to 10 every morning. That we were apparently someone from Congress was trying to put a bill together to put Trump's face on the $100 bill, and I was like, we should put it on $1,000 bill, man. Bring back the $1,000 bill if we're gonna put his face on anything. Let's keep Benjamin where he's at, you know. And then it's like, how crazy would that be to have lost? You know, like you ever lose like a $5? You know, it's like can't find a five. Imagine losing $1,000 bill.
Just get a
Kind of funny.
$47 bill.
Yeah, that'll mess a lot of people up that don't know how to add properly.
So nobody fucking uses cash anymore anyway, basically. So
That's true.
the machine has to tell them what to do. They don't understand how to count. They don't understand what changes. They don't understand why if something costs, I don't know, like if something costs $10.20, you give them $20.20. They don't understand what you're doing. They don't understand how to give you change for that. They're fucking dumb as shit.
There's like TikTok videos of people trying to buy stuff like from fast food places with the $2 bill. They have a stack of $2 bills, and they like I think one of the people working there called the police saying that this person's counterfeiting money. That was kind of funny. So, you know,
my mom used to like get a bunch of $2 bills when she was younger because she thought one day they were going to be worth a bunch of money, right? And like she had thousands of dollars worth of $2 bills, and finally, at one point in time, she went to go find out how much they were worth, and turns out they were $2. So, but she had a fuck ton of them. She collected them when she was younger for some reason, but at least they were still worth $2.
You can do that too. You get like some of those dollar coins, you know, Susan B. Anthony, George Washington dollar coin that they tried to make popular at one point in history, $2 bills, and try to go to stores and try to buy stuff, see what happens.
I think she turned in all of those $2 bills to actually help pay for the first trip that I ever took to Disney World, which was in 2000.
Wow.
So the first time I went there, they had the 2000 thing on the Epcot ball and all that shit. That is the last time I went to Magic Kingdom, was in 2000. So Matt Stranger for 2. All hail Megatron. I'm definitely more Decepticon.
Yeah.
Decepticon coded, I think. Cole Hauser, Ryan, you should come with Jay to TFCon. Is that Transformers Con?
In Toronto. In July.
Maybe. They'd probably boo me.
I say we go there wearing our 51st state shirts and walk around and see what happens.
Joker's Disciple for 5. For science, I tried Jay's old poop method for the last week. Took huge dookies without wiping, then did a chaotic mad dash to the shower. I don't recommend.
No, I don't recommend. Don't do that.
Empty-headed, I agree.
I don't want you guys to get sick or anything. It's all for fun and games, so don't
get sick.
Don't get sick or anything. Gross.
Empty-headed says, I agree with Josh. Well, thank you. Jay, we've got some big news on Disney animation front.
Yeah.
On the Disney animation front. And there's some people that are not very happy about this. It was like 4 or 5 years ago that Disney announced that they're going all in on Tiana, on Princess Tiana. Not only were they going to change Disney World for Princess and the Frog ride and all of that stuff, Tiana's Bayou, but they're also going to do a Tiana animated series. It just so happens that a lot of this stuff was decided around 2000, when there was a big push for more diversity on screen for some strange reason. But now, looks like they don't have that same need. Tiana Disney Plus series shelved as Walt Disney Animation abandons long-form streaming content exclusive. And this was from the Hollywood Reporter yesterday. And there's some interesting stuff in here. I don't think anybody really wants a fucking Tiana show, just being real. I don't think there's a big demand out there for a Tiana show. But it also is very indicative of how much they have failed providing original content for streaming. And Moana 2 makes $1 billion at the box office. That was supposed to be like an 8-12 episode Disney Plus series. That's what Moana was originally supposed to be. They decided to pull the plug on that, edit it to hell, convert it to a movie, and release it as a movie, and made $1 billion at the box office. And I think they have realized that the way that they've been going about streaming, the original content they're putting out, not just from Walt Disney Animation, but really from everywhere, has been absolutely fucking trash, and no one's coming to watch it. First announced in 2020, the Disney Plus show was envisioned as a musical featuring Anika Nani Rose reprising her role as Tiana, Disney's first Black princess from The Princess and the Frog. Well, now Walt Disney Animation Studios officially pulled the plug on its Tiana Princess series as it abandons making original long-form content for streaming, The Hollywood Reporter has learned. It hasn't seemed to be too popular in the theme park, has it, Jay?
No, and it's very interesting and very telling because they got rid of a classic ride, Splash Mountain, because of its problematic theming, according to Disney. So they wanted to push their first Black princess. So they came out with some announcements saying we're going to have a new ride, we're going to have a new television show, which was this apparently, and it's now canceled. We were going to do all these things, and this is a character that wasn't race swapped or anything. It's one of their own, so sure, why not? Well, the ride hasn't even been open a year, not even a year, and this is the condition of the ride. So this is part of it here. I'm going to turn it down because of the music, but you can clearly see that even in these animatronics, you could see how it's already ripped and probably needs to be shut down and replaced. This is like the most horrendous Disney quality that they could possibly put in a theme park. It was never like this before in the past. And the fact that they were trying to push this to create it to be a thing, like, hey, we're pushing diversity, we're putting this all together. You would think that they would put the very best, they would spend the most amount of money if they truly believed that. If they truly believed that this is where they were going with it. Well, they did it as cheap as possible. The Splash Mountain ride had its problems. It was very old, but this is only a few months old. All right. And they go along with the ride. Here, you could see it blinking like a fire alarm. It's just going off randomly for no reason while they're on the ride. And they get to it's just not that one piece. They get to this part here. And as you can see, the mouth isn't even working anymore on this. And then they fast forward to the end where half the animatronics aren't even working. They're just kind of like flopped over. And that's supposed to be, their big diversity at the theme parks, what they changed Splash Mountain for. So they spent all this, whatever money they spent on it. It was supposed to be a big push, but now they've canceled the animation series. And it looks like they're not taking care of the ride. They don't really care. And it's too bad because they're getting ready to raise the ticket prices to the theme parks. And Epic Universe is seeing blood in the water, and they're coming to take that crown to where they want families and people to come visit their parks and forget all about Disney. So, and if they keep this trend up, I mean, it's just, that's exactly what's going to happen. So
they thought this was just going to be a quick, easy virtue signal. They'll put out their Black Princess show. They'll put out their Black Princess ride, replace the terrible, terrible Song of the South-based ride that everybody loves, and replace it with something that obviously is low effort and low quality. And they had a bunch of problems behind the scenes with this. And honestly, I think that if Moana 2 hadn't come out and done so well, where they just took this TV series that would have done nothing on Disney Plus, they released it in theaters and made $1 billion. I think that's making them reconsider everything they've done, all the effort and dedication they put into streaming. And this should go everywhere for every other property that they have that they're creating original content for on Disney Plus. I think it's going to make them rethink that. And even in this article, they try to put a bunch of blame. Well, not a bunch. They mention that Bob Chapek was one of the people that pressed all these film studios to make streaming content. During the pandemic, some Disney execs, including then CEO Bob Chapek, pressed his various film silos to make original content for Disney Plus in order to grow subscribers. This was all a Bob Iger plan. Disney Plus was Bob Iger's baby. Like, this was in the works before Bob Chapek took over. It's been in the works after he was subsequently fired. Like, there's the idea to bring that up is so funny that they're trying to pass the buck to him when it comes to that, when really Disney Plus has been Bob Iger's baby this entire fucking time.
They're going to continue to pass the blame on Chapek. I think that's their scapegoat on a lot of things. Almost said scapecat. That's their scapegoat on a lot of things.
It's their scape badger.
I wouldn't even be surprised, and this is just guessing out of left field, that even when it comes down to the Gina Carano lawsuit against Lucasfilm, that Chapek gets the blame because he was in charge when all that stuff happened. That it's an easy for Iger to come out and be like, well, I wasn't really in charge when that happened, and that's why he's not here anymore. So this is just what they do. I mean, people were locked in their homes. What were they? What do you think they were going to do? Keep making movies for people to go out to when they couldn't go out? So of course they were going to focus on Disney Plus, but passing the blame is it's just what they do. Not one person over there is accountable for any failure that's happened over there. They pass it to someone else. And seeing like what's happening, the destruction of their theme parks and stuff over the years too, they're also doing the same thing. It's like they're passing the blame on past people, saying, well, they took corners and we're not going to cut corners anymore. And they did this. Well, we're not going to do this anymore. It's like you guys were literally in charge when all this stuff happened. And you just want to constantly pass the blame. It doesn't work. And people ain't falling for that crap anymore. It's like you're just putting out terrible product after product, and other people, such as Universal, they're stepping up and they're going to take advantage of your constant failure. What's crazy was years ago, the name Disney was associated, and we're talking years ago, was associated with quality entertainment, theme parks. They did such a great job years ago with their marketing that people, hey, I want to take my family somewhere. Let's go to Disney. You know, even the Super Bowl ads. You just won the Super Bowl. Where are you going? I'm going to Disney World. Things like that. And now it is such a damaged brand. You know, people are just, they're choosing to do something else.
And when Jalen Hurts, quarterback for the Eagles, won the Super Bowl, I'm going to Disney World. Yeah. And what happens? There was a huge power outage, which is
half the park didn't work.
And half the park didn't work. Shout out to Meta PCs, though. We get another ad for Meta PCs. Speaking of Meta PCs, get a Meta PC, use discount code 199 to save on all purchases today. Link in the description and probably the pinned comment as well once we're done. So not good. Not good. I'm looking forward to Epic Universe, though.
Did you want to see? Do we have time for their commercial or?
Sure, we can take a look.
Not yet. Well, I just want to
right now.
I just want to point some things out, is that they're letting people go into Epic Universe now. And this is Drew. You can see Drew Disney dude. All right. So he is, I've met him a few times. Fine. But he is definitely, I prefer Disney over Universal person. He's come out and I don't know how these people got super early access, but they did. He basically is saying that the Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment, is not only the best attraction at Universal Epic Universe, but also one of the best attractions ever created. And no, I'm not exaggerating. You have multiple people in this sphere that point to Disney being better, and yet they can't argue the fact that what Universal has created is far superior in quality and entertainment than anything that Disney has to offer. Universal just came out with a family commercial as to why you should pick them over Disney. We'll watch it here.
To be a part of somebody's vacation. In so many ways, our parks and our resorts are just such a natural way to get people to feel a deep sense of connection. These are memories that they will have for their whole lives. Universal Orlando has always been a family vacation destination.
Over the past 35 years, we've grown to a fully developed, integrated resort destination comprised of multiple theme parks, hotels, city walk, everything you can possibly imagine to spend your entire
Can you pause it for a sec?
need a full
Yeah.
vacation destination.
So I had never like I obviously am not as engaged or tuned into theme park history and all this stuff as you, but it seems like for decades and decades, Universal was viewed as this kind of little baby insignificant brother
Yeah.
compared to what Disney was offering.
Yeah.
But over the last several years and over the last, I would say probably decade, they've just been continuing to kind of eat into that market share that
Correct.
Disney has dominated for so long, specifically here in Orlando. And it does seem like Epic Universe is like about to like bust the top off what they're doing.
Well, the thing is people, like they don't understand. They ask, how can Disney keep making crap movies and shows and still have money to function? It's their theme parks that are bringing in billions of dollars for this company. And the same thing over here with Comcast. So it's like they understand the importance of theme parks and how much money it brings into their company. So now they're out. Now they're making, this is the family destination, right? Like this is their whole thing. Like we want you to see this and know this is where you need to bring your family, right? There's no pride flags flying. There's none of that stuff. It is bring your family. There's something for everyone here. And that's what they just are constantly, they're hammering that to everyone in their marketing.
Epic Universe is going to be a game changer in terms of how much time that people are going to want to spend here, where they don't have to think about anything, but they get to feel everything.
Epic Universe is a whole new kind of theme park. We're creating these 5 immersive worlds.
And each one of them an amazing, compelling storytelling experience.
It's not just opening Epic. The entire resort has something new. 4 theme parks, 11 hotels. Everything is there for you.
It's taking the things that we've done particularly well and making them even better, and then introducing new stories, new technology.
We push every boundary possible. You can be transported to a place that you've only dreamed.
We're fired up by change. We thrive on change. And by going to Universal Orlando Resort, you get the total experience.
In so many ways, our history, our present, and our future is the same. What we're always striving for is making people feel something very human and very connected, whether it's fear or joy or awe. We want to give that to them. There are already so many things in the works now. We have a slate of new attractions that were already in development for every one of our parks. We're already planning for the next thing at Epic.
It fits with our ethos of making the next thing we do better than the last thing we did.
This park, which has for years been ours, and then all of a sudden the park is open and it's not our park anymore.
There is such joy that something you have wished for your whole life or only dreamed of actually becomes a reality.
We are bigger and better than we've ever been before. Even though Epic feels a little bit like a finale, it really isn't. There's so much more to do and so many more stories to tell.
Yeah. So that's their marketing. While Disney's raising their prices.
Well, Disney's raising their prices and tearing down a bunch of stuff that people love. Yeah.
So it's a matter of time to see like exactly what's going to happen. The most recent census report is that Universal has, for the first time in their history, have taken over some of the parks already. So it's like more people visit Universal than Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios. They still haven't cracked Magic Kingdom yet, but it's the first time ever that's happened. So it'll be interesting to see once this thing is fully operational and people are going. So they're definitely going to take the heat. And Bob Iger comes out, and of course, what else is he going to say? He's just going to say, "Oh, we knew about Epic for a long time, and yeah, we're not worried. We're going to continue to provide the best family entertainment possible." And I mean, he has to say something like that, but you can't tell me that they're not worried.
Well, yeah, what's he going to say? We're scared to death?
Right.
Like, yeah. I mean, they made a bunch of announcements. I think reactionary announcements at, was it last D23 or Whenever.
Yeah,
that
they're gonna
was.
shut down like Tom Sawyer's Island. They're gonna shut down all these classic things that people enjoy.
Josh Tomorrow came out there and got
Yeah.
booed by the
Yeah.
crowd, and with some of the kind of reactionary announcements that they made. So,
But that's the thing. It's like they don't. People are going. They just need to fix the crap that they have already. Like if they fix it so it works when people show up there. But it's like they don't think that way. They got to make these announcements where it's like, yeah, we're going to destroy everything that you love and build something different. I hope you like it. Anyway, the Tiana's Bayou, the Tiana thing has just been one disaster after the next. And yeah, now that the cartoon's not coming out is just, I guess, the finale of their failed DEI experiment throughout Disney.
D's Webos. Remember for 17 months, you guys ever watched the Beast Wars cartoon in the 90s? Black Arachnia can get the D.
Yeah, I watched Beast Wars. I liked it.
Did you want to give the D to Black Arachnia?
No. But you do you.
Alex McCarthy for 2, March 4th to a daily Arcade 3PO stream. I see what you did there, Alex. I see what you did there. Trillist, Tiana Disney Plus series shelved. Kanye, Disney doesn't care about black people. Mike Myers, Shrek, was also standing there awkwardly when that happened. Brian Grumps for 2. So Disney used the BLM style funding for Tiana. They announced it on the back of all of that stuff. And turns out didn't really work very well. The incessant Chris Bolts for 5. This incessant need of white people to erase their culture to make minorities and LGBT happy is unsettling. Thank you, Chris. Our man Dimogenai in the chat. When the message is all that gets pushed and the swappings and checkboxes are the only thing, then that message becomes synonymous with fails. I hate it.
I think a lot of people hate it. And that's the thing with Tiana. Tiana wasn't a race swap. They wanted to build into
that was their like
a minority character. I guess that's what they could have built into, but they decided not to, and now they just canceled the show. So
there was a report out there that coming along with some of this that I saw from that park place. I didn't dig too deep into it. There was a report that essentially suggested that one of the people that's been involved in this Tiana fiasco, that originally there was a live action remake of Tiana pitched because of all the 2020, all of that stuff. They decided, no, we're going to do Black Little Mermaid instead. We're going to race swap a character that's like more popular because we think that'll have a bigger cultural impact. And they announced the streaming series for Tiana instead. But we all know how Black Little Mermaid went. Didn't go over very well. And now Tiana's streaming series is not happening either. Maximus BT, are you retarded? Thanks, Maximus. Stephen McBride for 2. Gape for me, Jay.
What?
Gape
I don't know what
for me.
I don't know what that means.
Alex McCarthy, Daredevil is tonight, I think. Daredevil is, I think, coming out tonight. I've heard some great things. I've heard some mixed things. I've heard there's not as much of a focus on the religious angle, which obviously for Daredevil, it's pretty important. But we'll see. First 2 episodes do come out tonight. I think there's a lot of people with high expectations for the Daredevil movie or for the Daredevil show. But maybe Jeremy will watch it and can talk to you guys about it tomorrow.
Maybe.
Golden Nuggets. Fuck you, Ryan and Jay. Happy Tuesday.
Oh, thank you.
Hope you enjoyed some beans and toast or whatever the fuck you guys eat over there. Golden
Tea and
Nuggets.
crumpets.
Tea and crumpets. I mean, tea and
is a
crumpets.
crumpet.
I think tea's gay and it's for gays. Crumpets. What are those little biscuits or something?
Biscuits. Oh, okay.
I mean, I like biscuits. They probably don't taste good. They're probably like all hard and shit. They're like, oh, this is great over here. Dark Knight Rider for 5. Wokest thing there is the Love is Universal rainbow stuff they sell. They also have a guy in Black Panther face at a hero face painting stand. A guy in Black Panther face. You know, they sold God.
Yeah, everybody has that pride.
What was that? So
Merch.
there is at the Marvel thing at Universal. I feel like this is when Gary was there. They have, because they sell a bunch of Marvel shit. They had a Black Panther Snuggie or something.
Yeah.
And it was just the goofiest ass white dude who was like wearing it as the model in the thing. I thought it looked so funny. But we should talk about the Oscars a little, Jay. We talked about the Oscars yesterday. And when we talked about the Oscars yesterday, we questioned, how many people were actually going to tune into this. Over the last several years, really going on a decade, people have fallen away from the modern day entertainment industry as they have become more and more out of touch with the normal, everyday, average person. Entertainment is secondary to pushing whatever message they want to push, and they do not care. They will continue to do it. And as a result, people have tuned out from the Oscars. Well, last night, we finally got, last night, we finally got the numbers for the ratings for Sunday's Oscars presentation. And shocker, the third worst rated Oscars in history, the third lowest Oscars in the nearly century that they've been doing this presentation. This is the third lowest ratings they've seen. TV ratings. Oscars draws 18 million viewers, down from 2024. Oscars hit 18.1 million viewers, down 7% from last year. And we should point out that this is the first time it was live streamed on a streaming site on Hulu. And that counts. That 18.1 million number counts the amount of people that were watching it on Hulu. So in actuality, without that live stream, who knows how low these numbers would have been on ABC for this product. And that was even a disaster. They had to come out and apologize for how poorly the Hulu app was performing. This app, right? This streaming service that Disney paid billions and billions and billions of dollars for, just so they could combine it with their own failing streaming service to make it look like it's profitable. Couldn't handle it. And there was a lot of people that were having problems with it. But yes, overall, just under 18.1 million people tuned into ABC's telecast of the 97th Academy Awards on Sunday, marking a 7% decrease from the year before. That total is a combination of Nielsen's measurement of linear viewers on ABC plus live streams on Hulu. Indicates the ceremony's first viewership drop in 4 years. Now, if we do look at kind of the history of what we've seen, coming off the pandemic was when it was at its lowest, 10 million viewers, the lowest in history by a big margin. The second one jumped up just at the end because of the Will Smith slap. That kind of got them back, and they kind of capitalized on that for the next one, the next following Oscars. But this one is a decrease from the year prior and the third lowest in history. Obviously, 18 million sounds like a lot and certainly is a lot, but not when you compare it to the numbers that they've had before.
Wow.
Even back in 2000, 46 million people tuning in. 2014, 43 million people tuning in. And even as you did have this decrease, you still had around 30 million people watching. Not so much anymore. People have fallen away. And I mean, maybe it's because they can't really relate to anything that's winning Best Picture nowadays. Like a movie about a hooker who hooks up with a young Russian oligarch's son and stands on the stage praising sex workers. You have Amelia Perez about a transgender Mexican cartel boss featuring Carla Sofia Gascon, this beast of a man who's pretending to be a woman. Maybe a lot of what they're celebrating is very disconnected from anything that normal, everyday, average people think should be celebrated.
Well, the thing is, I wonder if they're going to blame the glitch on Hulu for the problems. That's probably what they'll pass the blame again. And so that'll be one thing. And then I wonder if they're going to sit around and be like, we didn't really get too political. Maybe we should go back to that so people would tune in. the truth of the matter is, most of the Hollywood people, they have found out that their influence doesn't matter anymore. And people have opened their eyes to the fact that Hollywood celebrities don't matter. Because the past 4 years, they have constantly told us how to think, how to talk, who to vote for, what to do, what's right, what's wrong, who's good, who's bad, and all that stuff. And every point that they make is retarded. Let's be honest. And they don't have any influence anymore. And these viewerships, these ratings are more evidence that people could care less what the Hollywood actor has to say, their political stance, and what they're trying to shove. Just go out there and make a good film. Let me have a few laughs. Let me enjoy my Twizzlers. You know, give me some action and then leave me alone. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think. I don't care where your political stance is because I probably won't agree with it. And people have walked away from these horrific people that are trying to change the world in such a negative light. In my humble yet honest opinion, that's what's happening. There's no more influence in Hollywood anymore. Shocking to think that they ever had it, but I'm sure they did at some time. I'm sure there are people out there that are waiting to hear, you know, from Britney Spears on how to vote in the national election. I'm sure there's a few people left, or Taylor Swift, or whoever it is. So that's my thought. Like, people are just sick of these people. The lockdowns proved it. You know, when you had all these actors coming out saying, deal with it. You know, I got to be locked down in my mansion with tennis courts and basketball courts and a home gym and a petting zoo and a swimming pool. So if I got to do it, you got to do it too. You know what I mean? Like all that stupid stuff that went out like years ago. And now people are just like, I'm so over it. So I'm over these people. Anyway, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with the movies that are nominated and how much interest people have in seeing those. And, you know, last year you had Oppenheimer, which was a big movie and was very well received by a lot of people. And people were invested in seeing who won, who lost, things like that. Not so much this time around with a lot of the things that were pushed out there. And again, this incessant, and I'm not saying that everything that wins an award and everything has to be a big, huge blockbuster type of movie. I'm not saying that at all, right? But when you put all of the focus and attention on things that, one, people have no interest in seeing and a lot of people haven't seen, and things like Amelia Perez, who everyone that saw it thought it was absolute garbage and gets nominated for 13 awards, obviously just because there's a fucking trans person in it.
That's the whole thing, because
like,
they push that trans crap on. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. They push that stuff for years, you know, women's sports, let the men play in it, all that garbage. I mean, not to get political on the entertainment show, but it's just they push that crap for years. Then they talk down to anyone that disagrees with them. You know, and then they don't take responsibility for themselves. Then they're like, hey, watch our film. And it's like, no, I choose not to. And then it's like, then it's for some reason, it's our fault. People are so sick of these people, these delusional people. And then they go cry on social media. And they're probably all on, what is that, Blue Butterfly app now? Just
Blue
like
Sky.
Blaming it on whatever and whoever. They're probably blaming it on Trump, that nobody wants to watch these enlightened films that will bring intelligence to the viewership. No, it's stupid. These people are stupid. These movies are dumb. What was the #1 movie last year? Was it Deadpool as far as money making?
Probably Inside Out 2.
Inside Out 2, Deadpool, and neither one of them were up for anything, right?
Inside Out 2 was up for Best Animated, I believe.
Okay.
I don't think it won, but Wild Robot, of the ones that I had seen, Wild Robot was really good. I thought it should have won personally. And I think when you have things like Dune Part 2, now that's a lot of the recency bias that released back in like February or March, very early in the year. Most things that won released a little bit later for award season. But when you look at something like that, and regardless of how you might feel about how the movie ended, or whatever, it had a lot of acclaim, had a decent sized box office number, and from a cinematic standpoint was beautifully shot. And it ends up only getting nominated for 5 things, wins 2 of them. Denis Villeneuve gets snubbed for Best Director, and you just have a lot of people, and you have Academy members admitting that they didn't even watch Dune Part 2. Right. So when you have people that are voting for this admitting that we don't watch all of these things, so that's annoying as shit. So,
and then you wonder how much
no
money
respect for
people,
the Oscars anymore, and rightly so.
How much money people pay to get their movie nominated. You know, you wonder if that's
I mean,
Netflix
Netflix had like a $30 million. I'm sure they regretted it after a lot of these other things happened, but they had like a $30 million press push. And you know, sending things to voting members to remind them of this, like all this shit. They desperately wanted a lot of that critical acclaim, for sure.
I'm not sure what for. It doesn't matter anymore. Like, is it just good for your resume? I won an Oscar. You know, so it's like, hey, hire this guy. He won an Oscar. Yeah, here's my. I won this. And I gave an acceptance speech that told the rest of the American population how they should think and how they should vote. You should hire me for your next job. It's just that simple.
I think
I don't get it.
Well, look, I still think that there is a lot of, I think to the normal person, the idea of this person winning or this person winning doesn't matter that much. I think in the industry, it still matters a lot. And the idea that Netflix, which started off as streaming everything and people had fucking no respect for it, basically, the idea that they're getting attention and some of their people can win these awards, that gives them a lot more credibility, I suppose, in the eyes of other people within that industry, so that you can then make it easier for actors to commit to, okay, I might be more willing to do a Netflix movie if all things are equal, because they have shown they have the ability to get me that type of acclaim. I think those are the things that go through people's minds when they're thinking about shit like this, more so than the everyday average person.
Just patting themselves on the back and giving each other awards.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I'm just glad we got to celebrate sex workers at the Oscars. So now all of those women who claim that Harvey did something wrong, I mean,
exactly.
Sex workers. They were just exchanging those blowjobs they gave to Harvey Weinstein in order to get roles. Sex workers. They're proud. They're loud and proud.
I will give them a little bit of credit, though. I did think there was going to be a lot of Ukraine stuff, but they didn't. I think, like we said yesterday, it was just like one quick mention of it.
And it was kind of in, like, it was actually in reference to a movie.
Right.
Which, listen, Conan is not everyone's taste, right? Conan is sometimes an acquired taste, like his comedy. I used to watch Conan all the fucking time. But he did a much better job of staying apolitical on a lot of that stuff than Jimmy Kimmel did. There's no question. There's no question. Golden nuggets for $5. It's actually pancake day today. I got my maple syrup ready. Well, maple syrup. I stocked up on it just in case, you know, prices go up because of Canada stuff. Actually, I fucking never make pancakes or waffles. It's kind of sad.
I have a waffle maker.
It's just I don't want to go through all that effort, man. I had a protein shake this morning, frozen bananas, frozen strawberries, protein powder, oats, some milk thrown in there. It's easy.
Sounds good.
5 minutes, boom. I don't have to fucking cook a pancake, mix it, get all the dishes from it. Ugh, fuck that.
Respect.
Carol Hall. That's why Jay was eating crackers today.
Yeah, exactly.
Carol Hall for 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Carol. Nick Hammerschmidt for 5. Tea is gay. You've never had ice cold raspberry tea before, Ryan? I'll be real. I'm not a huge fan of even iced tea. I find it much more palatable than like hot British tea, whatever these fucks drink. The only time I ever drink tea is if I'm actually sick and like I've got I can barely fucking talk because I got a sore throat or whatever because of it. That's the only time that I will consider tea.
Southern style sweet tea. I'll drink that all day. It's you add a little bit of tea to a big bowl of sugar.
Yeah, I've never been
Pretty
a
much
huge fan
it.
of that, honestly. Never been a huge fan of it, which is probably why I don't have diabetes yet.
I better
Matt
check on mine.
Stranger, Ryan, are you and Conan related? You both have the same hairstyle. I respect it. I don't believe so. I would imagine Conan's Irish. I'm like 25% Irish, so maybe back in our history, there's a little bit. And he's like he's an actual redhead, whereas I am not. Logan Johnson, I'll be happy when DEI and wokeness becomes irrelevant. It's a fucking joke. Hope everyone's doing well. Have a good day and hail the 199.
What's up, Logan?
What's up, Logan? Snacks, Lightning McQueen. It's just an empty cup. What is that in reference to? Obviously Cars, but I don't remember that quote.
I don't either.
Do you even lift, bro, for $5? Jay, I'm taking my 7 and 4-year-olds to Universal for the first time in 2 weeks. Any not so well-known places I should make sure I take them?
If you're talking
Batman
inside
bathroom.
if you're talking inside the park, you should definitely go to DreamWorks. It's perfect for that age. They even have a roller coaster that they could go on. That's where you'll find Shrek and a couple playground areas. They could also meet Kung Fu Panda. He's also out there as well. So that's on the Universal side. On the Islands of Adventure side, a lot of people don't know this, but if you walk and you see Popeye's water ride and you keep walking past it, there's a pretty massive ship playground where you can actually get like water guns and shoot people in the ride with water. So a lot of the youngsters like that. So it's a great time if you just want them to burn off some energy and run around. So and then if you keep going, you might miss it too. In the Jurassic Park area, there is a huge playground area for children there as well. On top of all the other rides, depending on what they want to do. If they like Harry Potter, they will not be disappointed. But if you want to spend the coin and get them an interactive wand, it's a great purchase.
Yeah.
So
And you can go see Donkey there. You can go see Donkey at the DreamWorks land. And Donkey actually had some stuff to say recently about his appearance in the new Shrek 5 trailer.
Yeah.
Jay, we talked about this when it came out last week, but the Shrek 5 trailer got absolutely annihilated for what people are calling a design change for Shrek. People were not happy about it. The Zendaya casting may have had something to do with it as well. You had people getting a lot of attention for comparing it to the Sonic redesign, which to me, it just seems like different expressions.
Even the Sonic people. I sent that to you. I think there it is. Krista, she posted it. Even the Sonic people had something
for
to
any
say
green
about it.
ogres looking for advice, right? The official Sonic account reacting to the Shrek 5 teaser trailer from Krista right there. And you can see this has 500,000 fucking dislikes.
That's
to less than 200,000 likes. It's getting annihilated right now. And Donkey had something to say about it, which I think is hilarious. First of all, I think it's hilarious that he's just going out there and poking fun at what obviously is controversial right now. Shrek Donkey at Universal Studios Orlando mocks Shrek 5 trailer to guests. Donkey looks homeless. And we've got the video right here.
I've come out. Even though your husband refused to come out, he's embarrassed. He doesn't want to get questions about the new trailer. And how old are your children again?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Because I'm going to be honest, Felicia looked 15.
The snail masks are working.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys watch the new Shrek trailer?
We did it. We did
I'm
it.
just saying, look rough.
Looks rough.
That's why you always get final approval for all your film and movie rights.
Right, which I do think it's funny, just like being able to poke fun of that stuff, because God knows, right, at Disney with Snow White and all, they would never fucking say a damn thing about these trailers that get ratioed or whatever. And, you know, we talked about this a little bit. I was shocked at the amount of backlash over this, honestly, but I do think it's hilarious that Donkey at Universal is, because it's kind of impossible to ignore at this point, using that to joke around a little bit. Donkey looks homeless.
Donkey's G&G fan, I hear too.
That's the rumor out there.
Got multiple videos of him talking about geeks and gamers. So pretty interesting that he didn't like the he didn't like the trailer. So yeah, so if you're at Universal, go ask Donkey a question. I'm sure he'll answer it for you.
Yeah, go ask Donkey a question.
He'll
We'll
be
see what
very
he says.
honest. Very honest.
Dark Knight Rider for 2. Finally, a woman beats out a trans in competition.
In the Oscars.
Oh, it wasn't a sporting event, so
yeah, it's true.
Emilio with 5 gifted memberships. Shout out to our man Emilio. Thank you very much, Emilio. Over on the Rumble side, we have Switzerland Play It for 2. I don't appreciate you call me gay just because I like tea. Not when it comes from somebody with your haircut. My feels. I just think tea's kind of gay. Ronan for $1. Conan O'Brien needs a beard, and he would look just like Ryan.
I'm not seeing it. Maybe not seeing the comparison too much.
Here's this picture again.
Maybe because I'm around Ryan a lot. And all right. Well, you didn't share it.
I didn't share it. Sorry. Yeah. I thought I shared it.
I was like,
I was doing the pose that he's doing.
I thought you were about to sneeze for a second, so I was kind of like waiting. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe you could pass as a younger Conan and play him in a biography. Maybe that'll be it. He's really tall though. I hear he's like, is he like 6'6" or something?
He's really fucking tall.
Yeah.
He's really tall. Yeah. And he's actually got red hair. I don't have fucking red. Look at my hair.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have red hair.
Snacks.
And he also went to Haiti and said that he could live there.
He probably
that was a
be
crazy.
He doesn't have a lot of skin. He doesn't have a lot of fucking weight. They're not just gonna kill him and eat him, right? Because he's skinny. So
yeah, it's
Snacks for 2. At least they got a real ogre to voice her. Metal Slave with 5 gifted memberships as well. Thank you, Metal Slave. Grabthar's Hammer for $10 over on the local side. Thank you very much for the $10. Curmudgeon Cow Connection is awesome. Rate each other's backgrounds. I think Curmudgeon Cow Connection is you and me, Jay.
Oh, rate each other's background. Ryan definitely has more awards than I do. It's got the two plates from YouTube. Mine
are bigger as well.
Yeah, mine are over there. Or my single one is right there. I didn't even care. I just dumped it at the bottom. So yeah, my shelving's a little crooked. I did build that myself though, so I'm kind of happy about that. You know, I do have video games.
Hold on. What do you mean you built it yourself?
I bought it from Amazon and I put it together.
Came in a fucking box and used an Allen wrench to put it together. That's how everyone fucking builds their shelves, Jay. That's nothing to be proud of.
I hear you. Actually, I used a power drill, so I didn't have to do it, you know. I just attached it. The video games came in a box too, and I put those together. Yeah, maybe that's the proper term. I put them together.
Yeah.
And they work. So that's something.
This is like, hey, you like this? You like these bookcases? I built them myself. Yeah. Oh yeah? Yeah, they're from IKEA. Well, he's like,
yeah, that's true. You could there actually is an option when you buy from Amazon to have someone come over to your home and put it together for you.
Yeah. I mean, I used to get into fucking building my own shit. I built like an Adirondack chair and stuff like that I was really proud of. I built the workbench that still sits out in the garage. I built that. I thought that was, I was really very proud of myself. But I actually built those. They're kind of shitty. to be honest, which is why I gave up. I'm like, fuck, this is way too much work. Rather just buy this shit from a fucking store and put it together.
Yeah, that's I think the first time I tried to build a birdhouse, I was like, some bird's gonna fly in here and it's gonna collapse and kill them. That's when I realized it wasn't really my thing. I do like working on car engines though. I used to love doing that. I can't really do it much today, but I used to love it. So did it all the time on those older cars. I used to have a 1973 Mercury Comet. Man, I built that thing. That was a great time.
Metal Slave for 2 says, Jay the Builder.
That's me.
That's Jay. Switzerland, play it. But I appreciate that you remember to say my name right, Ryan. Good boy in the end. We mentioned it enough times. It's not Switzerland Play IT, even though it feels like it should be, because both are capitalized. So if you wanted to be Switzerland Play it, you should have done a lowercase capital T at the end of that. Just a suggestion.
Somebody said, why can't you work on cars today? Well, everything is all that computer stuff in it, but you're right. If I went out and bought another classic car, I would have a blast. I think that's what I'm going to do eventually. And I used to work on my motorcycle forever until I almost died on it and I sold it because I got scared. So one of these days, maybe I'll get another one.
I used to do basic shit on my cars, like just fucking oil change and, flush the transmission. Like I used to do stuff like that. But honestly, it's fucking pain in the
man,
ass.
I rebuilt my brother, my brother, like we rebuilt the transmission and stuff. It was quite the task.
Bro, my fucking car I used to have, I had such bad fucking God, it must have been my Honda Civic, my manual Honda Civic. I had such fucking problems. Had such problems with overheating on that engine at one point. I used to have to constantly flush the coolant system. Fucking used to have to watch it while I was going, because I had a busted thermostat. That was all it fucking was. And I tried a million different things before I bought like the $7 thermostat. And then when I installed it in the wrong fucking way.
Yeah.
And so I still didn't think I'd fix it, retried everything again, and finally flipped it around and it worked. But I felt retarded that I spent so much time, effort, and energy trying to fix that when it was literally just like a cheap ass thermostat. But all right, I think that's it for us. Oh my God, I got my car fixed, by the way. Yesterday.
Yeah, I was about to ask you.
After I fucking hit that big ass fucking pothole, had to roll around in my spare tire for a day. I got it fixed, so got a new wheel and needed a new tire put on there. But
someone said, Jay, your Mercury had a C4 C4 transmission and a 302 V8 was awesome.
There you go.
What an awesome car that was.
Oh, I got like 6 miles to the gallon.
Oh, it was awful. It was like it's a freaking tank, heavy. And I had to convert the drum brakes into disc brakes because them drum brakes, man, just not a good design back then. Anyway, car repair with Jay to end the show on Geeks and Gamers.
There you go. I pay other people to do it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Jay, you got anything going on?
Probably gonna do a gaming stream later today, but that's probably it. Tomorrow, I'm taking a trip, so I won't be around much tomorrow. So taking a little trip, but I'll be back that night.
We will not be around here tomorrow either. Yeah. What time TNME? I don't know, fucking 6 Eastern. I suppose it's when it is.
I think they're changing the time because of the president's talking to Congress, the State of the Union. So
probably, I wouldn't be surprised. So, but yes, it'll be your favorite Jeremy and Beardo tomorrow on Wednesday, hosting daily. We'll see you guys here again on Thursday.
Yep.
So, if you like that, congratulations. If you don't, get fucked. We'll see you Thursday. Bye, everybody. Have a good day.